Hello everybody, welcome to Just Outside My Workshop. So I just recently got back from the scrapyard and I kind of had some interesting points I'd like to take and point out. Just some idle Roy thoughts here. This might be a Roy rant, if you will. It's not really a rant. I'm not ranting on anybody in particular, I don't guess. But just bear with me for a second. So some of the thoughts I had while I was at the scrapyard today is I just got back from the scrapyard, and I spent roughly about $225, somewhere around there in that end on just materials. Now for that, I didn't get a whole lot of materials. I got some copper in, some much needed copper in. I had a few other little project things that I had to pick up, and I went out and bought some steel today. Okay, and so you'll have to adjust here. Camera looks like it's darkening in and out, but hopefully you guys won't mind that too bad. But the point that I like to make is I hear a lot of complaints from people about, this costs too much, or that costs too much, or this costs too much. And the problem with that kind of thinking, and I would challenge you to think a little bit differently about it, is that everything will always cost too much. It's just, everything costs something. You're not going to get nothing for free, okay? There are no free tickets in life. And so therefore, it's really only your perception of what those are. They're either valuable to you or they're not valuable to you. That particular item or whatever, that little doodad that you're after. So apply that to the blacksmithing field as a whole. Say you want to work with silica bronze. Silica bronze is expensive, but if that's what you want to work with, then you will pay the cost that it costs taken by the silica bronze. Don't spend your next 30 years complaining and hating on the fact that silica bronze costs so much. It just is. You can't change that aspect of it. You can change your perception of it, and that perception should go more like this. How much value can I put out there using this valuable material? Whether that be copper, whether it be steel, stainless steel, whatever, okay? Same thing when it comes to blacksmithing tools. You need to have that same thought process, okay? It's that same thought process is, will this anvil, oh gosh, this anvil, it's so extraordinarily expensive. Not really. I mean, because if you have an anvil and you have it for the next 60 years of your life, is it really that expensive to spend $600, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on an anvil if you have it for 60 years? Think about everything else that you may have in your house that's not going to last 60 years for $3,000 or $1,000 or a couple $100, okay? So that's something that you have to take a look at. Okay, well, how much value is this thing going to provide me in the future, and is it worth it to me? If it's worth it to you, then buy it. Just don't complain about the prices. You're only hurting yourself because the price ain't going to change. Price ain't going to change just because you complained about it. You'll just be unhappy, and somebody else will think that it's a great or a swell deal. So hopefully you're taking notes, any of the new smiths out there, that, don't complain about the pricing or what it costs to do this craft. Any craft that you get into. I don't care if it's wood turning, if it's carving, if it's welding, laser cutting, whatever it may be, pottery, basket weaving, you name it, it costs you something to get into that. And, when it comes down to paying for education, you're going to have to pay for education sometimes. That's going to happen. You're going to have to pay for a class or a workshop because you want to learn how to do that specific weave or whatever, okay? That's not really the point. The point is it costs something to do the craft. So don't spend your days worrying about the costs, complaining about the costs, hoping somebody will just give it to you for free. Save up your money. Buy the things that you want to buy. Don't buy the stuff that's not as valuable to you at that period of time. And then, wait. If you want to buy, a Nozzle 3B power hammer, it's going to cost you some money. It's just going to cost you some money. You're probably looking at anywhere from 15 to 30 grand probably that you're going to have to take and pay for that thing. That is not going to be a value to a guy that's smithing in his garage that's not wanting to produce large production things. It just won't be. I mean, it might be a great measuring point to say, hey, I got a Nozzle 3B in my garage. But other than that, unless you have that kind of money to spend on that, the value that you'll get from it's not worth that item. And so that's just something to think about. buy what you can afford. Don't overspend on stuff that you can't afford or stuff that won't be able to bring you value out of it. So that's my way of looking at things, looking at materials costs, stuff like that. You know, it all is kind of the bottom line, and as long as I break above that bottom line, I feel pretty good that I've done a good day's worth of work. At the end of the day, it's how much value you're sowing out there into the world and what these items will be able to help you create or produce. So that'll be it for this little Roy rant. Hope you enjoyed it. Kept it short. If you liked it, give me a big thumbs up. If you disliked it, give me a big thumbs down. Either way, appreciate the feedback. And like always, God bless you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.